Welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're doing this. This is a series I did on baking. I did this a couple years ago and I just hated to waste it. And I thought I'd throw it up here on Derek Does because I do a lot of stuff. Now this particular one is this, and I think you're gonna enjoy it. Hi everybody, welcome to Baking with Derek. I'm Derek and we're gonna be baking this fresh sandwich bread. Now I just literally took this out of the oven. I'm gonna show you how to make it, how we made this particular one. So stay tuned, subscribe, because I've got a ton of bakes coming up and I'll show you how it's done. We're gonna begin with a cup and a quarter of whole milk. We're gonna heat up this to about 115, and that's just so that the yeast will have a place to live and be healthy. So we add half a stick of butter, 4 tablespoons. We want about 2 tablespoons of honey. Now what I do, I don't measure it out because I just squirt it and squirt it. I kind of know what 2 tablespoons are. But then, like always, cut up your butter so that it's easier to melt. Gives it more space actually, in the heat. Okay, we're right around 115 where we want to be. Now if it gets a little hotter than that, like 120, that's fine. It'll cool off once we put it into the bowl. Pour it in the bowl. Now the butter hasn't completely melted, but it will. So what I like to do is kind of swirl it around just a little bit. It helps cool it down, but also make sure everything gets mixed up really well. All right, now to add the yeast. We're gonna wanna add 2 1/4 teaspoons. That's 1, 2, and 1/4. I like to give it just a little bit to make sure that those little lumps get a little bit of liquid on them. And now we wait 10 minutes. All right, our yeast is ready to go, and now we're gonna add the flour. Now basically we need 3½ cups of flour. So what I do is I mix bread flour with whole wheat. I like a little bit of wheat in there because it gives a little more structure and a little more heartiness. So we're gonna add of the bread flour, 1, 2 1/2, and then the whole wheat, we're gonna add 1 cup. And with this one, we're gonna add just a little over 1 teaspoon of salt. So if it goes over just a little bit, that's okay. We don't want quite 2 teaspoons. We want a little bit more. Now what I like to do is I like to stir it a little bit before I put it on the mixer. That's good. Now we're gonna put it in the mixer. Now if you don't have a mixer, you can just hand do this, hand knead it. It's gonna be about 10 minutes of hand kneading, or about 5 minutes with a mixer. Use a dough hook. I let it go for 5. Okay, our dough is ready. What I also like to do every time I make bread, even if I use the mixer, I like to put a little bit of dough on the counter and knead it by hand, just to make sure it's where it needs to be. This dough looks really good. All right, that's it for step 1. So basically we're gonna fold it in on itself. See how I'm pushing in underneath it? We'll put it right back into the bowl we did it. We're gonna cover it with plastic wrap and let it sit for about an hour until it doubles in size. Okay, it's been about an hour. As you can see, it's doubled in size and we're ready for phase 2. Take off the plastic wrap. Again, put a little flour down. Remove your dough. Push out any of the air. Now what I also like to do is I like to roll it with a thin roller. And you basically get it about as wide as your baking tin. And what we do is we fold it, we roll it. Just roll it. And then on the seam, we pinch it. And that seals it. We're gonna put it in a pan that's buttered. Put it seam side down. And what I do is I like to squish it into place. Just use your knuckles. All right. Cover with plastic wrap. And let this sit for about half an hour. All right, half an hour has happened, and look at that. Look how much of that's risen. Now what's gonna happen is when you put this in the oven, it's actually gonna rise a little bit more, probably about 15–20% more. Oh, there's the oven right now, it's ready to go. Let's put it in. All right, now if you remember in other videos, I always put a pan of water inside the oven, and that gives everything steam. Because you want an oven with some steam when doing bread. So we're just gonna put our bread right here in the middle. We don't have to cut it or anything, we just put it right in. And it's gonna bake for about 40 minutes. All right, everyone, 40 minutes has gone by and the bread is ready. So we're gonna turn off the oven and pull it out. Whew, steam. Oh. Look at that, huh? Straight from the oven. So what you want to do is you want to take it out of the pan right away. And it should just slide out just like that because we buttered. Flip it over. And we got ourselves some bread. Look at that. That's some good looking bread, huh? And the smell, it's amazing. Look at that, another successful bake. The smell, it's amazing. You gotta bake this thing. This is fresh sandwich bread. We made it, it was easy. You can use it. I'll have another video coming up showing how to slice sandwich bread because it took me a while to get the technique down, and I've got a device that works great with this type of bread. It doesn't work with the round breads, but it works with the loaf breads really easy. So if you like this video and you enjoy what you've been seeing, subscribe because I'm gonna try to get more baking videos constantly coming out. So we'll see you next time. Thank you, bye-bye.